Hi everyone, I just wanted to share some thoughts on this new moon in Pisces tomorrow. I'm going to keep this short and sweet and just highlight a few of the key points that are jumping out to me at least, and that I think that a lot of you can relate to actually. So the new moon in Western astrology is going to be 9 degrees of the sign of Pisces, which is the final sign of the zodiac, traditionally ruled by Jupiter and now co-ruled by Neptune. And it's going to be square its original planetary ruler Jupiter, which greatly amplifies the existing watery and emotional qualities of this new moon in Pisces. Now, I don't cover lunations as often or regularly as I used to, but this one feels very important because it is the prelude to an eclipse season throughout March and April. So this is a big deal, and what a lot of people are experiencing right now are a sense that there is more to release than there is to gain right now, that we're releasing and clearing the dead weight, that in order to move forward, we first have to really take a good look at what's weighing us down so that we can truly move forward with a sense of levity and clarity and without all this extra baggage that we've been carrying around. And with that, there might be a sense of tremendous grief for different reasons for different people, because there's a lot of pain and suffering and loss on one level that some people are experiencing. On the other hand, some people are just feeling more inspired than ever. And for a lot of other people, it's a combination of these two things sort of co-mingled in this very bittersweet kind of experience or realization of one's current circumstances, where we have to take a stand back and just look at the big picture and take the good with the bad, as they say, because if it weren't for certain bad things happening, we wouldn't have arrived at these other positive things and experiences and growth. So it's coming to an appreciation of how necessary certain things were to the current developments and or the future developments. So we are recognizing what has served its purpose in our life and becoming more willing and ready to be done with those things as we are preparing and planting seeds for the new. And in so doing, aligning more closely with our inner or truer spiritual principles. At this time, we are taking a good look at a lot of old negative patterns, both within ourselves and around us. We're looking at possibly addictions within ourselves or in those close to us, residual trauma and spiritual burdens that we've been carrying, because we can finally see the way out or the way through. And it's time. It's time to let go. It's time to start anew. And so we are also looking at faith and hope, restoring a sense of genuine optimism on an individual level or together with our community and our family, lifting each other up, because a lot of people have been doing the opposite because they've been in fear mode or anger, defensiveness, and all of that. And in relation to world events, I mean, it's always just, we have to deal with this constant sort of propaganda coming at us from all different angles. I'm not really going into the counter narrative today because right now it just seems like what is needed more than anything is support and compassion and like positive reinforcement, right? Because a lot of people are just going through it right now really, really intensely. And so again, in relation to world events, I always think like with these types of very strong Piscean, because we have several planets in Pisces, it's not just the new moon, but we also have Saturn still in Pisces, and we have Saturn next to Mercury and the North Node. Not to mention Neptune is still in Pisces. So it's a very, very extra Piscean new moon. We have a lot of illusion, confusion, delusion, and interference in the air right now, making it hard for a lot of people to see the forest for the trees. Of course, other people are just super inspired musically, artistically, and even spiritually. But for those who are not feeling that, it's just so crazy. And it's like a big unknown. It's like a gigantic question mark. And some people just think it's just, it keeps getting worse. The worse it gets, the worse it gets, like Murphy's Law. And I don't really think that's necessarily true, but it can sure seem like that, especially if there's no alignment with that inner purpose, that inner still small voice within that's always guiding us, that's always, throwing synchronicities on our path, whether or not we pay attention. Of course, the more we pay attention, the more we are given those confirmations and those gifts. So now moving on to the collective, and the world events, there are schemes behind the scenes related to invisible and biochemical attacks and mystery attacks. And then we've been hearing a lot about these plane crashes, and this is all just, you bet, it's just all a big scheme to instill fear and to prevent people probably from traveling, because there's this agenda to keep people locked down. And it's like you always got to look for, okay, what are they trying to do now? And then we hear about the new viral scares, so there's medical propaganda, chaos and confusion there. But you know what? It's just part of the whole blasé show, shit show that we're dealing with here. And for those who have just seen many moons and care less and less about external, propaganda and things like that, and I'm not saying that I don't care about actual, harm being done to sentient beings or anything like that, but it's just like not getting worked up about the propaganda specifically, because that's what it is, it's all a big show. So recognizing the show for what it is and not letting it pull so much on your heartstrings or on your mind, because we're just bombarded by mind control. So it's just, again, I want to keep this really short and sweet and highlight those major things and just say that if you are going through a terrible time right now, just take a stand back. Don't try so hard. Maybe take some time out to meditate, to pray, to do something meditative, such as beading or gardening or baking, whatever it is for you, walking the dog more often, going to the park and just, bird watching, whatever it is, because we need rest. We need to prepare ourselves for what's coming, because it's going to be a lot. I cannot underline enough how big the changes are that are coming. And also Venus is slowing down to go retrograde, just as we are barely recovering from Mars coming out of its retrograde. So yeah, it's just that kind of year, folks. So buckle up, it's going to be quite the ride. But hey, if you've been working hard and you've been doing your spiritual homework and you have just been, it might not have been an easy thing and it might have had a lot of bumps along the way, but you are going to see so much payback from your efforts. You will see that the time has come for those fruits on the tree to ripen from your efforts. And in the months to come, you're going to feel a lot different. I am imagining and I am envisioning that, and I am praying that for you. But I also literally think that that's going to be the case for a lot of people. No guarantees for everyone, of course, but I sincerely believe that those who have been really doing the work are going to experience a lot of positive breakthrough and growth. And remember, joy is not always a loud experience. Joy can be a quiet contemplation in one's heart. So make time for joy, no matter how loud and intrusive outer events might seem right now. This too shall pass. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for listening, and take care until next time.